Siberia and Central Asia, vast lands stretching across the Eurasian continent, have been integral to Russia's history for centuries. These regions, rich in resources and strategically important, have shaped Russia's identity as a Eurasian power. The conquest of these territories, a gradual process spanning centuries, had a profound impact on both Russia and the indigenous people of Siberia and Central Asia. From the dense forests of Siberia to the steppes of Central Asia, the land held immense promise for the expanding Russian Empire. Siberia, with its abundance of furs, timber and minerals, offered lucrative economic opportunities. Central Asia, situated at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, promised control over vital trade arteries connecting Europe to the riches of the Orient. The significance of these regions extended beyond mere economic gain. Control over Siberia and Central Asia would solidify Russia's position as a major player in Asian affairs. It would provide a buffer zone against potential threats from the south and east. The conquest of these lands would be a testament to Russia's growing power and ambition on the world stage. However, this expansion came at a cost. The indigenous populations of these regions, with their unique cultures and ways of life, would be irrevocably changed by the arrival of the Russians. The conquest would leave a lasting legacy of cultural assimilation, economic exploitation, and political subjugation on these once independent societies. The driving forces behind Russia's eastward expansion were manifold, fueled by a potent mix of economic ambition, strategic considerations, and an insatiable thirst for territorial aggrandizement. The promise of wealth, particularly from the lucrative fur trade, acted as a powerful magnet, drawing Russian adventurers and traders ever eastward. Siberia, teeming with sable, ermine, and fox, became synonymous with the luxurious furs coveted by the elite of Europe. This soft gold fueled the Russian economy, lining the coffers of the Tsar and driving the relentless push into the Siberian wilderness. The search for new sources of fur, coupled with the discovery of vast mineral deposits, further intensified the eastward drive. Beyond the immediate allure of wealth, strategic considerations played a crucial role in shaping Russian policy. The expanding Tsardom of Russia, seeking to secure its borders and enhance its regional influence, viewed control of Siberia and Central Asia as essential to its geopolitical ambitions. Siberia, a vast buffer zone, would shield Russia's heartland from potential threats emanating from the east. Furthermore, the conquest of Central Asia, a region strategically located at the crossroads of Asia, would grant Russia control over vital trade routes and access to the riches of India and China. This ambition would pit Russia against other expanding empires, most notably Great Britain, in a geopolitical chess match that would come to be known as the Great Game. The vanguard of the Russian advance into the vast expanses of Siberia and Central Asia was spearheaded by a unique group of frontiersmen, the Cossacks. These hardy and fiercely independent warriors, accustomed to the harsh realities of life on the steppe, played a pivotal role in extending Russia's reach eastward. Renowned for their equestrian skills, military prowess, and unwavering sense of adventure, the Cossacks served as explorers, soldiers, and colonists in the relentless eastward push. Driven by a combination of wanderlust, economic opportunity, and the promise of land and freedom, they ventured into the unknown, establishing forts and trading posts that would serve as the foundation for Russian expansion. One cannot overstate the importance of the Cossack role in Russia's eastward expansion. They were the tip of the spear, blazing a trail through uncharted territories, forging alliances with some native tribes, and subjugating others through force. Figures like Yermak Timofeyevich, a legendary Cossack chieftain, etched their names in the annals of Russian history through their daring exploits. Yermak's conquest of the Siberian Khanate in the late 16th century, a pivotal moment in Russia's eastward expansion, opened the gateway for the subsequent wave of Russian settlers and the incorporation of Siberia into the expanding Tsardom. The Cossacks' legacy in Siberia and Central Asia is complex and multifaceted. While they served as agents of Russian imperial expansion, their relationship with the indigenous populations was often marked by both cooperation and conflict. They adapted to local conditions, adopting native customs and intermarrying with local populations, creating a unique cultural blend on the frontier. The conquest of Siberia, a vast and challenging territory, was not a straightforward military campaign. Rather, it was a gradual process involving a combination of military expeditions, diplomatic maneuvering, and the establishment of settlements and infrastructure. The Russian state, recognizing the importance of consolidating its hold over these newly acquired lands, employed a multi-pronged strategy to integrate Siberia into its burgeoning empire. Forts and trading posts, strategically located along rivers and trade routes, formed the backbone of Russian control. These outposts served as centers of administration, military power, and trade, projecting Russian influence into the surrounding regions. The construction of the Trans-Siberian Railway in the late 19th century, a monumental feat of engineering, further solidified Russia's grip on Siberia, facilitating the movement of troops, settlers, and resources. To cement its rule, the Tsarist government encouraged the migration of Russian settlers to Siberia, offering them land and incentives to establish a Russian presence in the region. These settlers, primarily farmers and laborers, brought with them their language, culture, and Orthodox faith, gradually transforming the demographic landscape of Siberia. The Russian Orthodox Church, an integral part of the Tsarist state, played a significant role in the cultural assimilation of indigenous populations. Missionaries, often accompanying Cossack explorers and traders, sought to convert native Siberians to Christianity, often using a combination of persuasion and coercion. The process of integrating Siberia into the Russian Empire was not without its challenges. Resistance from indigenous tribes, often resentful of Russian encroachment on their lands and way of life, resulted in numerous uprisings and conflicts. However, the superior firepower and organization of the Russian military, coupled with internal divisions among Siberian tribes, ultimately led to the suppression of these rebellions.